Okay, all right, okay. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you for being kind enough to join us, to grace us with your digital presence. Before we go to lesson number 26, very quick recap of lesson number 25. Following in order to lead. We were talking about that, hey, what you're doing with your team, you are co-creating the modules slash systems slash mathematical models. Every organization, whether it's a corporations, institution, government organizations, all of them are mathematical models slash systems slash modules. So essentially they are mini games within the game of life. We were inviting you very gently, this is all discretional, we were inviting you to follow the great examples of Google, Facebook, ChatGPT, make it open source, give the maximum amount of freedom index. Remember the second lesson, the three indices of your why. Maximum freedom for yourself, maximum freedom for your team, maximum freedom for your affiliates, the top tier of humanity that is most connected with your modules, the affiliates that come to co-create with you, the affiliates that customize and integrate, and they have the greatest interaction with your modules. They create, if it's really done super correctly, they create the mini mods within the module of your life, aka your organization, your institution, your charity, your corporation, your company, whatever it is that you'll be co-creating with your team. As you're doing that, we were talking about the necessity of leadership, whether you are choosing to align yourself with the benefactors, the people who can take your module to completely different level, over you will won't affiliate with them. You need a leader. People follow the leaders, and we were talking about the art of leadership. The greatest leaders are the greatest followers, just like the greatest teachers are the greatest learners, the greatest receivers are the greatest givers. It's not this or that, it's both simultaneously at the same time. This is a feedback loop, this is a circulation. We are always doing all those things at the same time. Now, within the humanist framing, the follow in order to lead, what it means is that you follow your teachers first, your parents, your peer group, your first teachers, the role models within your peer group and outside of the peer group, your icons. Your icons are your teachers, your icons are your role models. You learn from the base operating system scripts, the belief systems, the values, the daily habits, the behavioral patterns. These are all algorithms. You just copy and paste and you apply it within the framework of your character arc, your development arc, your learning curve, as you are co-creating and developing that hopefully open source, hopefully sandbox experience that you are allowing all the affiliates, not just paying affiliates, all affiliates to come and play together so they can max out their happiness, their trust and freedom indices, co-creating with you guys. So that's what you're doing. You're following the patterns, you're doing the pattern recognition, you're following the greatest examples. That's with the humanist spectrum slash framing. But we were also talking about that some religionists and some metaphysicists and many humanists as well, those ones who will be allowed themselves to be a little bit more open-minded, a little bit more intuitive, a little bit more within the super consciousness spectrum, as you're accessing those dormant parts of your brain, when you're finally starting to utilize that 80% of the potential of your brain. That what you're doing is essentially, as the module grows, it almost as if it becomes a living organism, because what you're doing, you are creating community. That's what the modules are. They are communities, just like all the other mathematical systems within the framework of the game of life. There are mini games within the mini game. It's a community and it starts to live its own life. You don't control it because you can't control it. The art of letting go, you letting go of expectations, you letting go of the need of control. This is its own living organism, and that living organism, just like the storyline, the narrative of your module is essentially the composite of the character arcs, of the learning curves of all the members of your team, of those beautiful human beings that you are co-creating with the daily workflows on a daily basis. But it's also now you have more and more affiliates, and they are adding their own twist, they're adding their own vibrational frequency, they're adding their own interpretation, their own energy into the mix. So it's almost as if the whole module has its own character arc, its own learning curve. Remember, we have a vision, we're heading towards the vision, but we're making sure that it's getting in that direction, but we don't control it. We just let it go, it just flows. And the flow is the key word here, especially if you are a metaphysicist. It's almost as if you are learning to sense the energy of that one giant living system that is heading towards realization of your collective vision. It's not your vision anymore. It's not the vision of your team. It's the vision of all those co-creators. You see, the art of letting go is also the art of letting the egocentrism and that subconsciousness framing, that this is mine, this belongs to me. No, you let it go. This is ours, and it belongs to all of the co-creators, all of the affiliates that will come to co-create, and all the affiliates that might be co-creating long after we're gone, because the greatest modules will live on for very, very, very long time. Like you have the nation states or the multinational corporations or multinational organizations that live long after the initial programmers of the module. They might have left the physical realm, but the modules stay on. So you are sensing the flow of the module, you are sensing the energy, you are sensing where it's heading. And once again, it's intuitive. It's not that you are sitting there and analyzing the different probabilities. No, it's just too much of a task. You're just going with the flow, utilizing your intuition, whether you are humanist, religionist, or metaphysicist, you're going with the flow. So you follow the flow, and you follow it by following your highest excitement, by maxing out your happiness index, as you should have done from lesson number 1. But maybe you're still getting better and better and better at it. Maybe you are 5.5 out of 10 now. You're heading to 6, you're heading to 7. Don't worry. Once you reach level 8, it will become natural, it will become serendipitous, it will become synchronistic. You will be less and less identifying yourself with your playable character, your avatar, and more, it will not be even about your team, it will be about the module. It is as if the whole module is alive, the whole community is alive, and you are slowly shifting from the massive multiplayer game, you are shifting to the strategy game, which is super exhilarating. So amazingly well done. No matter whether you manifest it in few years or a decade, as long as you're going to get there, as long as you're realizing your vision, just keep going. No pressure. You're having fun. The number one priority is the happiness index. So follow your highest excitement, and you will follow the flow. That's the best way. We were talking about the 3 types of leadership. The third type of leadership is that me, the egocentrism, the subconsciousness leadership, that I am the best one, I've created this, all of it is mine, it's my intelligence, it's my vision, I am the best, you guys are just followers. The second modality is the developer of the developers, that you really derive great pleasure when people learn and grow by themselves, and then when they transfer that skill set. This is how you scale your enterprises to the whole new levels. Some people in the industry say that you are replacing yourself, you are replacing your replacers, but you're not really replacing yourself, because the module needs you, because it needs everybody. Everyone is invited. It's an open source. It's not going to be the same without you. So you're not really replacing yourself. You're just developer of the developer, because your happiness index is linked with other people overcoming their challenges in order to have their learning curve / character arc to the best of their ability. That's the type 2 leadership. Type 3 leadership, type 2 leadership, type 1 leadership, the most seldom on the planet Earth, the 0-point leadership, as some people call it, is that you go into the module and it's like, no, bro, we're just having fun. We're just maxing out our happiness, freedom, and trust indices. We're just 8 out of 10. Everyone is having a blast of their lifetime here. It's just like a giant party. When you have that vibe, when you have that feeling, that's the best vibe you can have. Whatever you are co-creating, whatever your mini game within the game of life is, this is the vibe you want to be, because this is where people are the most collaborative, most inventive, most co-creative. This is when those multi-billion-dollar idea will start descending, and then it's gonna happen And almost as if you guys, it's not no longer you going into your super consciousness, almost as if the whole community is downloading it from the super consciousness, where we wish to frame it as the nature or the black swan event or the butterfly effect, or you want to frame it as downloading it from God or downloading it from the collective consciousness of humanity. This is your framing, this is your game of life. You use whatever definitions you please, but it's almost as if the whole community starts to have that magical ability of elevating to the super consciousness level, that everyone is synchronizing, everyone is in sync. I love your vibe, I love your vibration, I love your energy. And it's almost as if those ideas come from somewhere else, those visions come from somewhere else, those dreams and those desires come from outside, and yet they don't feel like they've ever been outside. It's an amazing feeling, and I sincerely wish you're gonna get there. And as long as you choose to believe, you will, as long as you keep going and as long as you keep aligning with the right people. So this is about the art of follow in order to lead. Now, because there will be many brothers and sisters who say, okay, but what's going to pay the bills? And that's a very good question, and this is also very true. So now we're going to be talking about the leap. Lesson number 26 is leap to your leads. Leap to your leads is that, okay, you've co-created this module. This module is open source, so you are inviting all the affiliates to play as they please, to derive the maximum amount of value, educational and entertaining value. But yes, it is very important what's going to pay the bills. So what you'll be doing is what our brothers and sisters in corporate world will call it profiling the market. They will be identifying essentially those people who are most likely to invest in the module, because hey, the module, it's like that Shaolin monks when they have opened the gates to those who wanted to train them. You want to train with the monastery, feed the monastery. And that's the same principle, that those affiliates who want to be affiliated with the closest, the core co-creators of the modules, the people who are they are not more or less, they are not even equal, but they are the originators. Without them, none of that manifestation would have happened. Those people who have the maximum, lesson number 14, love, gratitude, and appreciation. Those people who have aligned with those values, and they are the ones who have the greatest affinity for the vision. For them, it's, yes, it is fun, yes, it is games, it is a mini game within the game of life, but there is a greater goal. Whatever that goal is, whatever that vision is, it's up to you. Lesson number 18, the vision. Maybe it is the new Earth 2.0. Maybe you want to reboot the Earth paradigm to give maximum amount of love, peace, and abundance to all, maxed out. Maybe that is your vision. Who knows? That's your game of life, it's your vision. But the people within the module who are the closest aligned with the vision, with the values, and with the benefit, with the greatest, remember the size and symmetry of your why, with what's best physically, mentally, spiritually, socially, and financially. Never forget that finance is just a score point. It's just you are measuring how great you are of providing amazing value to humans' lives. And there's nothing, if you feel any guilt or any shame for asking for money, there's already something going on within your subconscious. No, far from it. When you do it right, people will come to you. It's like, yeah, I love you guys. Let's just, yeah, I do want to subscribe. Where do I sign up? This is the level I've told you guys, the marketing without marketing. The people come to buy. People don't like when something is being sold to them, but people love to buy. They love to shop. They love e-commerce. They love to get great value, and they love to co-create. They love when something reminds them how artistic they've always been. They've just chosen to forget because they haven't been aligning with the right people. They haven't been playing the right mini games. Like, you were hiding that mini game from them. How could you have done that? Come on. So yes, you are profiling the market, you are identifying those affiliates who are most likely to feed the monastery, to feed the module, to feed you and feed the team, to pay the bills, pay the mortgage, and keep the lights on. And how do you do that? Like I said, they will be the most aligned with the vision, they'll be the most aligned with the values, they'll be the most aligned with the team. But once again, there will be those of our brothers and sisters within the humanist spectrum, bless them. And by the way, when I talk about the humanist humanists, so most of the religionists and most of the metaphysicists, they are aligning with that spectrum because nearly 80% of humans are within that spectrum. Even if they call themselves religionists and metaphysicists, they will essentially use the framing of the humanists. They want to be rational, logical, scientific people because that's the framing which is prevalent not just in the Western world, but by and large in the world at large, and it's perfectly fine. We love everyone, we co-create with everyone. But those people will want to see facts and figures. They want to use AI for pattern recognition. They want to see the frequency, recency, and the volume of sales. We will talk about all those terms in the due time, but essentially they will want to look at the facts and figures, and once again, just like our statistician brothers and sisters, they will want to reduce human beings into numbers, and they want to see the facts and figures and say, yeah, nah, this demographic is the most likely to pay for our paid services within our open source modules. Fair enough, you can do it this way, it's your game of life. I invite you to do something different. I invite you to, once again, follow your highest excitement, go to your super consciousness, to your highest intuition. Now, our humanist brothers and sisters will call it your genius modality, although it will be a bit of a leap of faith to believe that all 80% of humans will be geniuses, but that's another story in and of itself. But let's use this mathematical model. There was a group of marketers, the scientists within the Italian community, Italian module, and they essentially were analyzing different behavioral patterns, aka the purchasing habits of different demographics across different industries. And they came up with the figure, and we'll be coming back to that figure, 80-20 rule. And essentially what I have found out is that the 20% of client base, that you have your customers, you have your clients, you have people who come and purchase stuff from you, whatever it might be. 20% of those clients are responsible for 80% of all the profits. So once again, the 1 out of 5 people are responsible for 4 out of 5 when it comes to your profit margin, when it comes to the volume of your sales, when it comes to translation into mathematical language, aka the hard currency, the dollars and cents or pound sterling, or however you wish to denominate, however, whatever denomination you'll be using in your charges, or PayPal or happy scores or credits, whatever. The 80% of your profit revenue comes from 20% of your client base, because these are the people who are most affiliated. These are the affiliates who are the closest to your to the people who are co-creating, the original team who are co-creators and maintenance staff for that module. So leaping leaping to your leads means that you are essentially, whether you want to use mathematics, whether you want to use AI, I'm not saying, just like with SMART goals, all the tools are there, you will use them however you please, but I'm once again asking you to allow yourself to be intuitive, to allow yourself to sense the flow and to go to those people, and those people will serendipitously start appearing. And once again, we were talking about benefactors, we're talking about those people who can completely reconfigure your module. Guys, many will be the mini benefactors. Many people will give you large amounts of sales. They will give you the sales on a recurring basis. They will, let's say that you have a subscription. Let's just say that you have co-created the module in which you are teaching entrepreneurship and social skills or an AI literacy, and you are a consulting firm now, and you are essentially pitching to the entirety of the planet, but you are very specific, because this is the best way of funneling the leads, right? Specificity. And we're going to be talking about all of that very, very, very with great attention to details. But essentially what happens is, as someone comes in, and let's say that it's a mid-size enterprise or a large business, and they say, hey guys, you are so amazing, we would like to actually put you on a payroll and make you consultancy, part of our consultancy, to you will be subcontractors for our firm when it comes to training our employees, our affiliates, our co-creators within the framework of the services that you guys are offering. So essentially they are putting you on a payroll. They give you the sales on a recurring basis. This is, by the way, the best type of customers and clients, the ones that keep on coming back to you on a recurring basis. And I'm not saying that you should only do subscriptions. Everyone is doing subscriptions, and sometimes it's too much. I'm not saying it should be done like that. It can be on month to month basis, and it can be subject to review. There are no rules apart from the ones that you're willing to superimpose on yourself. But that's just an example that there will be those people, 80-20 rule. There will be that segment of the affiliates co-creating your open source that will give you amazing amounts of abundance on a recurring basis. So money will not be a thing anymore, because all of you will be operating from the level of abundance. Even if you are struggling at this moment in time, don't worry about it. It's just a process. You just need to manifest it. You just need to expedite the energy. Multiverse is about energy. No matter what framing, what boss script you are using, you will have to invest that energy. But the best way of profiling your market is when you are in sync with your team, and you guys are all brainstorming. And if you are in the metaphysical community, you guys will be going into such an intuitive state that will be literally doing what some of our brothers and sisters call, quote, channeling. That you are essentially a one co-creative group that is downloading once again from the super consciousness, and you'll be finding the leads in such a manner that when they show up, you will know. You won't think. It will be a visceral feeling throughout your bodies. If you are in sync and you are a very high trust index between your subconsciousness, consciousness, and superconsciousness, when you are in that state of co-creative flow, it's no longer a workflow, it's a life flow at that stage. And when it happens, you will know. It will be a visceral feeling. This is how powerful you can allow yourself to be if you choose to believe you can be, and if you align yourself with the right people, because this is where most people fail. Most people are still operating on a subconsciousness basis. I'm the CEO, I'm the director, I'm the president, I'm the most important person. And that's why they fail, because they are misaligning themselves with their teams and with the affiliates. And that's why it's all collapsing, because their whys are collapsing, if they had whys in the first place, and that's another story in and of itself. So I'm saying to you that yes, use the mathematical models, use AI for pattern recognition, turn people into facts and figures. By all means, do whatever you please, but at the same time, never cut yourself off from your super consciousness, never cut yourself off from your gut feel. And you can do both. You see, that's the amazing thing, that you can be a humanist and you can be open to the possibility of being highly intuitive and having those people who are great at gut feel, as they say. And then you can frame it in a humanist fashion. You can say that, hey, that person is so great at reading the other people's, the algorithm of the body language, that they just know that if someone's great potential, if someone is offering the whole new level for our company, or whether they're going to feed the company or the charity or our mini game, our module, for a consistent and recurring basis, which is ideally what you want to do. You want the people to be coming to you. You want to identify that key segment which is so dedicated towards maintaining what you're doing. They're going to be feeding the monastery, they'll be feeding the module, they'll be feeding the team on a consistent, recurring basis. So money will never be a thing anymore in your life. So you can just co-create more and more ventures, and you can expand your module, or you can start a completely new module somewhere else. That's what many life flowers do. They go from one module to another module to another module. They don't do it for themselves, because there's no such thing as I in a team, and there's no such thing as mine within the open source. It's all ours and it's all us. If that's your modality of framing, there's a very high probability you will go from the co-creator of the influencer, you will go to a life flower specialization. But I'm not saying I suggest that to you. I'm not saying I wish that to you. It is your game of life. You are perfect exactly the way you are. But please be open to the possibility that the greatest market profiling, it's not intellectual, it's intuitive. Be open to intuition, be open to imagination, be open to positive feedback. And guys, honestly, if you are especially within the metaphysics community, when you are meditating together, start to download together, start the channeling together, and you'll be surprised. And then you can do the mind maps as those different thoughts, because it's not going to be as something. If you hear voices, that's it's called schizophrenia. Guys, please remember, we are all inclusive community. We are not negligent to anyone, but the higher self or the higher realms are not communicating through voices. It's always thoughts and imagery, and it's intuition, it's a sensation. And you can co-create maps, you can write down the ideas. When you wake up, you can write down the ideas, but be open to it, and you'll be surprised. Honestly, the feedback we're getting is that some people are just shocked, because then they have the visceral confirmation of their expectations when they saw something in the dreams, or they were co-creating vis-a-vis downloads as a team, and then they literally visualized a logo of a right corporation, or some visual image which was like so spot on that is beyond any realm of probability. But you see, this is why you have to be open to the possibility that we're not saying it's true, we're not saying it's not true, we're not ascribe the ethical values, whether it's good value or not, or bad value, because our affiliates, 9.1 billion affiliates, they will be framing it differently, and we want everyone to play. So we don't pay attention to that. Is it, we have our vision, we are heading together, our module is taking us all together, ourselves, our teams, and all the beautiful affiliates, particularly those who choose to pay for our living. That's what we focus upon. So please, please, please be kind enough to pay attention to that. If you'll be so kind. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so much, guys. You are the best. I love you so much. Please remember, you are the best community, not only within YouTube, but on the planet Earth. Let no one tell you otherwise. Love you all. Mwah, 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 mwah.